Hi folks, welcome back to Exposed. Our friend Darlene over at the Real CUNT of Brookline and the Lardites wanted me to have a look at this video. So here we go, it's Q&A, you asked and I answered. Get to know me more. Says the 5th of Feb 2014, not sure if that's the right date or not because she privated or deleted or whatever a whole load of things at one point and then had to put them back up again and everything was out of order, so it might be the right date, who knows. But a quick Q&A that she actually went through with. Who would thunk it? Okie dokie, here we go.
Do I have a special flower? And do I have a garden? I have a black thumb.
What's a black thumb? I've never heard it referred to as a black thumb. Is that an American thing? Somebody let me know. And here she is on her bed. No, she never did that, did she? In the dining room of her apartment in Brookline, is it? Anywho, let's go back a bit because I talked over the start of this.
Do I have a special flower? And do I have a garden? I have a black thumb.
My father, my parents divorced when I was in 6th grade, and my father and I always had not a great relationship. And then he had MS for many years, and he was married to his third wife who took care of him, and then she passed away. And he was in a nursing home, and he died 2 years ago, and it really devastated me, which was a big surprise because I thought that I wouldn't care because we didn't have a great relationship. And I miss him every day. What is this for? I went to college.
Why would you? That was Burke, for those who don't know, and he was obviously very young there. Why would you make him sit through that when you could put your fucking camera somewhere like you do here and just talk to it? Why did your son need to hear about what you thought about fucking bad-mouthing his grandfather in front of him? Way to go, Mother of the Year. Jeez.
Years ago, and it really devastated me, which was a big surprise because I thought that I wouldn't care because we didn't have a great relationship. And I miss him every day. What is this for? I went to college. I went to Leslie College, or Leslie University as it's now known, for a year. I went to Boston College for a year at night while I worked full-time during the day, and then went to school full-time at night. And then I went to UMass Amherst with my friend Roberta, transferred there, and I studied psychology. I was in the corporate world for many years, from the time that I was out of school till about 10 years ago. Started out as a secretary, then, became an executive assistant, like high-level executive assistant. Then
Note the high level. We've got to get the high level bit in. High level executive assistant.
Got into corporate events and planning and functions, planning symposiums, doing a lot of PowerPoint presentations for these symposiums and big corporate events, along with all of everything that goes along with that: the hoteling, the food, the menu, the day-to-day, everything. When I got pregnant with Burke, I was working for a company called Accenture that used to be called Anderson Consulting, and I ran their orientation program. So all the new hires that came in, I ran the program, got the speakers, went through all the paperwork when, somebody...
So you did all this high-level executive consultating things, and you did psychology in college, and then you had Burke. So when were you a teacher then? I seem to remember the other night in a live you were talking about how you used to print off things on a turny roundy handle thing that I used to use when I was in offices when you were a teacher. When were you a teacher, Lori? When did you fit that in? God, you were busy, weren't you?
Starts new in a company. It was a very extensive program that lasted for like a week. More recently, my next big job was I was a real estate agent for Zip Realty. Very successful at that.
Of course.
And then got out of real estate. I made some really great investments. My ex-husband and I bought several houses together and sold them at a huge profit. So I made some great investments, put it that way. And now I am working part-time at a hair salon, and as a receptionist, I'm just at the age, I'm still pretty young, but I'm at the age that I don't want to take my job home with me anymore. I don't want to have to, as a real estate agent, I was working 24/7. I'd be poolside on a Saturday on the 4th of July doing a business deal. 11 o'clock at night, if a deal was falling through, my phone was on. I don't want the pressure and stress of that. I want a job that is easy, although my job is not all that easy right now. Being at a front desk of a very busy, successful...
How fucking difficult is it being a receptionist at a fucking salon? Shut up. I've been a receptionist. It's piss easy. Fucking... Oh, it's so hard. So I ask again, when were you a teacher? When did you fit the teaching in? High-level executive, fucking amazing real estate agent. You did all this amazing selling and buying, and you bought houses and invested. So why have you got no fucking money then? 'Cause you're a liar.
Salon, working many hats, taking care of clients, and then also making sure that the stylists and the estheticians, that the new clients are fairly, evenly distributed among them, and the cash drawer, everything. It's not like a slow-paced job, put it that way. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to do it, but you need to be able to do each part of that job well, and that's where I really excel. I'm really good at multitasking.
Funny how you never lasted in that job, though, that you were really good at multitasking in.
I grew up I was born in the Bronx, New York City, and then I moved to Long Island, Dix Hills, Huntington, when I was 2, and moved from there to Brookline, Massachusetts when I was 7. How do I budget? I don't budget. What makes you think I budget? What I do a lot is I sell a ton of stuff on eBay. So if there's something that I see, let's say at Nordstrom, or makeup that I want, I do get it because I need the immediate gratification, but then I'll go home and I go through my stuff. I go through shoes and bags and jewelry, and I say, what can I sell? And then I just sell it at really great prices so that it sells, and then I have the money. So I'm really bad at budgeting. Like,
no
if
shit.
I was in a relationship and had a husband or boyfriend, whatever, lived with him, they'd have to be in charge of the money because I'm pretty much a spendthrift. I kill even cactus. Are you a morning or night person? Definitely night person. Do you live alone with Burke? Yes, just me and Burke. And how did you cultivate such a great relationship with your mother? Well, I'm an only child, so, and my parents got divorced when I was in 6th grade. So I think just by virtue of the fact that we were all that we had. But, my mother and I have normal mother-daughter issues. It's not by any means a perfect relationship. I don't think anything is. So I think it's just that we have a small family and we're all that we have, and we're similar in a lot of ways. We are also different in a lot of ways, but both try to be very accepting of those differences, which is the challenge. And I don't know, we've just always gotten along, and done a lot of things together.
I thought she was a raging narcissist who made your life hell growing up. Isn't that what you say? Wow. Do you know, Lardy, if you're watching this, which you probably are, here's a word of advice. You probably won't take it because you don't fucking take advice from anybody. But if you're going to be a liar, you need to have a really good memory. Now, it's obvious from the videos that you don't, because you can't remember what you said from one day to the next. So, you know all them fucking journals you bought and had nothing to write in? I suggest that you sit down and you plot out what the story of your life is, so that when you get asked a question again, you're not fucking contradicting yourself. Okay? You're welcome.
I love roses, but I also love snapdragons, and I love crocuses because they are the first sign of spring. And actually, right outside of my house, there used to be plants, and my neighbor who lived upstairs died very suddenly. She's a young woman, and she had planted crocuses. And so every summer spring, when they come up, I think of her and I say like a little prayer to Andrea.
Yes, I am an only child. I'm 5'4" and 3/4, not quite 5'5".
Please take your shoes off in this hallway and neatly place them along the sides of the stairs. Where are you? Curious.
My dream vacation, I would really like to go to Hawaii or Australia, but I don't think I could do the plane ride, or Japan. So many places. Greece, Santorini, I heard is gorgeous. And have I ever been to Canada? Yes, I've been to Montreal and loved it. What a fabulous city. So clean. People are wonderful. They speak English perfectly. They'll like just...
I'm sorry. They speak English perfectly. Shame you fucking don't, isn't it?
Switch back and forth from French to English on a whim. The food was great. Everything. There's nothing bad to say about Montreal. I'd like to go to Italy also. I just thought of that. Trying to think where else. I think that's it.
I love ivy that grows on like brick buildings.
Will I ever wear wigs again? Probably not. Favorite music is definitely 80s music. Madonna. I liked Steve Miller, Till Tuesday, Crowded House. Love Crowded House. But my all-time favorite, and this has been for many years now, is One Republic. And my favorite song ever is Good Life. That's my ringtone on my phone. I'm actually going to see them this summer along with the script. I'm taking Burke. That'll be his first concert. So I would say my favorite group band of all time is One Republic. A close second is Coldplay. And I have such a wide variety of music, but I hope that answered your question.
Love Tulips.
What do Burke and I do for fun? Well, he's 14, so right now he doesn't really want to do anything with me. And really, I haven't spent very much time with him doing anything other than, being home and taking him where he needs to go. So in the summer, we go to my timeshare, and he loves spending the time with me doing that. Although last year he did take a friend, and he does like to travel alone with me. So I would say travel is what we do for fun when we can.
I love cactuses. I love roses. What is my dearest wish for myself? I don't really wish for things for myself. I wish always things for Burke, and that he lives a long and healthy life. And then I think about how devastated he would be if anything happened to me. So then I wish for me to have a healthy life. And then the only other thing that I wish, my dearest wish for myself, would maybe be that I find true love. Don't love carnations.
My first pet, I believe, was a teeny little turtle that drove me crazy. I don't know, his legs or something. And now little turtles are illegal. You can't have them.
And then after that, my mother got a little dog. It was a beagle, I think, and we named it Missy. And it was outside one day and ate like some rhododendron bush or something and got brain damage, and we sent it to a farm so it could run free. So that was my first dog. Bird of paradise I love. Oh, I love calla lilies. One question I got a lot was, how do I stay so positive? And it's funny because...
Were you actually positive back then? 'Cause you sure as hell ain't now. But I see you still love being covered in animal fluff and hair and shit. Somebody send her a fucking lint roller, please.
I never thought of myself as a positive person. But if you look back, search for one of my videos, and I'll link it below as well, entitled How I Got Rid of Chronic Pain. That was pretty much my journey into being aware and positive in my life.
How I got rid of chronic pain. Anybody else notice the elephant in the room?
When I'm conscious of, behaviors and how I'm feeling and things like that, I'm a positive type of person. I don't know how you change your mind to look at the glass as half full instead of half empty. I just feel like, you surround yourself with the right people. That's the first thing. That's...
Right. So you surround yourself with the right people. So the right people are no people.
A big thing that I do is I am constantly weeding out those that I feel are toxic or not good in my life. And I think that's very important, to surround yourself with people that inspire you, people that lift you up, people that make you feel good about yourself.
And you're still driving like a twat.
And I've had a lot of people in my life that haven't done that, and they're out the door. I do not keep them in my life for very long. Sometimes it takes a while for me to get to that point, because I am I'm a very forgiving person, and I don't like to hold grudges.
I'm a very forgiving person, and I don't like to hold grudges. Who is she, and where did she go?
So, it might take years of being somewhat abused by certain people, and then I cut them out. Someone asked if I enjoy being single and if I would get married again. I do enjoy being single, but, and I've always said, I never want to get married again. I've been married twice. Once when I had just turned 22, and that was just for like 7 months. And then when I was 31,
7 months? It only lasted 7 months. Wow.
Married Burke's father. I didn't have Burke till I was 36. But I've always said I wasn't going to get married again. And I don't know, lately I've been thinking, why am I saying that? Leave my options open. Maybe I will. So, I do like being...
Or maybe you won't. Oh. 36 when you had Burke. Wow.
Single. I love my life right now. It's very drama-free, uncomplicated, and, when you have a relationship, there comes complications. But...
No, there doesn't.
What's the saying? It's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. And I think that even though my life is pretty even and easy, it's missing a very important part, and that is having somebody else, you know, share my life with me, somebody that loves me and someone that I love. So I won't say I would never get married again. I would definitely like a relationship, though. More on staying positive. I also am a firm believer in whatever you tell yourself and the things that you focus on are what comes to you. So I really do consciously try and not think about the negative, but focus on the positive. I know that sounds very cliche, but it's true. And really just try and find a reason or a good situation out of a bad one. Not to say I don't have, you know, bad times in my life. I do. I suffer from depression, so I mean, I do not always see everything as, you know, hunky-dory. Believe me, I don't. But I also try and stay away from drama. So,
who is this person? Who is she? This would be, you know, when she says that I do my Steven Spielbergy thing and I make her sound like she's saying things that she isn't saying because I'm this editing fucking genius. I think someone's done that on this video. Who is this woman? I have no idea.
You know, I'm not a drama kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you are around that, you're not going to be as positive. And I have some really great friends, and
let me think. Two in particular, you've known them since school, and they're your only friends. But they weren't when you left there, were they? You tried to say they still were, but they're not anymore.
I go to that dance class every Sunday, and I'm going to go Tuesday nights and Thursday mornings as well, if I can afford it. And I'll tell you, that's the most special dance class ever. It just starts my day and my week off. It's very motivating and a conscious type of dance class that we do. There's like nothing else like it. It's really hard to explain. People say, oh, you know, do you warm up? It's not a dance class like that. It's more expressive movement, but the person that runs it, Nicole, runs this integral life center, which has become a very big part of my life. And so that's where she comes from, a place of being very spiritual and very, you know, we're always thankful and trying to stay in the moment and letting go of the ego and things like that. I love flock.
Letting go of the ego. Mm-hmm. Looks like you found it again, though.
Burke's father. I met him when I was 31 on a cruise. He was my waiter, and he's from Turkey. He was 7 years younger than me. He still is 7 years younger than me.
Yeah, he would be.
We got married very quickly, like a month after knowing each other. We were married for 5 years. Then we had Burke, and a year later, we ended up separating. In the beginning, we were in a war. There were, you know, worries on my part about him being alone with Burke because, you know, going to Turkey and stuff like that. So in the beginning, it was really hard. And I would say until Burke was 3, we did not, you know, do anything together. He saw Burke and it was very separate. Then we became very good friends, and we actually all went to Turkey twice. Well, once while we were married, all of us, including my mother. And then after we were divorced, my mother and I and Burke flew to Turkey, met up with him. He had Burke, and my mother and I just toured the city. But we were very good friends then. And then we did a lot of things as a family. And then about 3.5 years ago, things sort of fell apart, and Burke and his father, the relationship was very strained, and he and I didn't get along, and just recently we're all back together again, as in being friends. He's very much in Burke's life, and he and I get along very well, and we're friendly, and he actually lives around the corner, so that's nice. It's convenient. His brother came in from Turkey last week. We all went out for dinner, and his sister and her husband moved here, so we are right now in the process of rebuilding that relationship, and it's going really, really.
Funny how she didn't mention the essay that she insinuates went on between Goonie and Burke. Isn't that a bag? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm tired now. It's been a long day. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? How everything was wonderful, but now, because Goonie grew a pair and actually realised what the fuck was going on and pulled away from you all, the story changes. Funny that, huh?
Really well. Am I still friends with Ben and Ethan?
No.
Not really. I'm not going to get into details. Up until recently I was, but you know, the summer was a lot easier to get together with them. In the winter we were really busy, and that's why I didn't see them quite as much and you didn't hear about them as much. But up until recently, I had a falling out with Ben, and Ethan and Ben are now engaged, so, you know, I'm not going to ask him to choose, obviously. But yeah, so that's kind of sad. So I'm not as friends with them as I was before. Does Burke look like his father? Sort of, but it's funny because when I look back at pictures of me,
Me, I, it's all about you, isn't it? Always. Funny how you didn't mention the thing about them falling in love with you and fondling your tits. And that's why you fell out with Ben and Ethan, because that was another fucking lie, wasn't it? Remember what I said earlier? Get your journal, write things down, and then read it before you do a live or one of these Q&A videos so you don't fuck yourself over.
it's like Burke's face on a girl. It's really, he looks very, boy, and I looked very girl, but I see a lot of me and him now. But I do see his father too.
Oh, sorry. Have you seen where she is, people? Where is she? In her bed. This is going to be a running thing as I do old videos, because that's where she did all her old videos, was from her bed. But she doesn't like anybody else to be able to lie in a bed. No, we're not allowed.
And a lot of his expressions are like his dad's. Burke's father, his name is Gungor, Gungor, and he's very, very handsome. So Junior asked me, my friend Junior from Brazil, hello, he asked me if what I was like in my 20s and if I still had friends from then. And my answer is, what was I like in my 20s? That's going to take a little bit of time, but what I did want to tell you was that, yes, I'm still very close with Marjorie and Roberta, and I've known them since I was 7, and we hung out when we were in our 20s all the time. I'm going to insert a picture here of me, Marjorie, and Roberta recently. It looks like we're like the blonde, the redhead, and the brunette, right? Yeah, so I've known them since I was 7, second grade. Roberta's a year younger, so I've known her since she was 6. And in my 20s, I drank, I did a few other things, partied a lot, had a lot of boyfriends, and I would say that I pretty much lived out most of the things I wanted to do before I got married and had a child, so that when I finally was ready to get married and have a child, nothing felt like a sacrifice. Like I had done it all, you know? Really sowed my wild oats, so to speak.
Ew, that's a fucking thought I don't want stuck in my head.
Oh, I'm going to film like this more often. I have no double chin. I'm lying on my back. I love peonies more than roses. I would love to have more children, except that I just had a hysterectomy in October, and I'm 50 years old. I really only wanted 2 kids. I think that's my greatest disappointment. Nicola had asked me that question, and that's my greatest disappointment, that I didn't have a second child, because I think you miss out on a lot of things when you're an only child. Although Burke loves being an only child, I didn't like being an only child. So that's my greatest disappointment. My greatest achievement is parenting Burke. You know, not having kids, because animals can have offspring. If I could have any job, I think I would want to name cosmetics like nail polish and lip gloss. That's like a dream job, believe it or not. I think that would be really fun. Chrysanthemums. I actually thought about getting a big chrysanthemum on my shoulder, a tattoo.
But you're shit at naming things. The only way when you were naming things was to give them slutty fucking shit names. When you started making jewellery, the people can't see me, making in inverted commas, you know, buying it from Michael's on sale and then adding a dingle dangle doesn't fucking mean you made it. But you had people on your live picking names for you, and whoever it was, can't remember their name now, they were really good at it, and you were shite. So you couldn't have a job naming things because you're not creative, laddie. As much as you like to think you are, you're not.
All different colors, they grow like that. Oh, love those.
Wow, that was really deep and meaningful, wasn't it? Who was that woman in that video? Because she's changed so much since then, hasn't she? God, she's fucking miserable now. Right, well, I'm going to let you all go, and I'm going to find another video to do, because I seem to be on a roll today. Thanks, everybody. Don't forget, if you haven't already, give us a like, subscribe, share, comment, you know, all the nice YouTubey things. And thanks to everyone who's doing that already. You're great. I love you. Bye.